Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to another episode of Soul Over Matter, the podcast for souls along this wild, crazy awakening journey. We have our resident astrologer, Stephanie Powers, back to chat all things full moon in Aries and to just shit talk and to just shit on all the planets that are moving and grooving and affecting us right now. So Stephanie, welcome back to Soul Over Matter.
Thank you. It feels like coming home to my favorite auntie's house.
Oh, how are you?
I'm well. I'm ready for this Aries full moon. And if there's one sign that loves to shit talk, but in order to make you be better, it's Aries.
It is Aries. I have a lot of Aries people in my life. I love Aries
Have
energy.
Yeah, they're kind of rare. Aries sun people are rare. Aries moon, even more. And like we were saying with Pisces rising being the rarest, second rarest is an Aries rising. It's a really neat sign.
Mm,
Aries is the first sign in the zodiac. And knowing this, it is the youngest. So it's been said in astrology that people born with an Aries sun are new souls. They're brand new in this
interesting.
world. Yeah. Pisces sun. So since Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, number 12, it's said if you're born with a Pisces sun, this is your last incarnation of a cycle. So you're an old soul. You've been here, done that. But
Ooh,
Pisces are grumpy as a result because they're just like, oh, again, I'm done. I've lived a life as an Aries, as a Taurus, as a Scorpio. I just want to be done. But Aries
wow.
is the exact opposite. These people are brand new and they are essentially walking children. Wow, that's new. That sport looks cool. I want to try that. They have so much energy, they can stay out till 3 a.m. well into their 30s. Whereas the rest of us get tired and say, oh, I'm in my 30s. I can't be doing this anymore. Aries people say, I can.
I
But they're all,
love, yeah,
yeah,
I love fire energy, right? Aries, Leo,
too.
Sag, like give it to me.
Yeah.
What about like if you have Aries sun, or like, what about Aries moon or rising? Does that
Yeah.
have anything to do with being a young soul?
Yeah, Aries rising is essentially your soul's promise in your rising sign. So when it's in Aries, you are promising to always be an individual in all partnerships that you are in, friendship, romantic. Can you remain an individual and stay really true to yourself and own it,
Oh.
rock it, but be in partnership? Now, Aries moon people, I laugh because this is my dog's placement. And he is the biggest asshole. Just barks at everyone and everything. His triggers are gas stations, motorcycles, you name it. Aries moon people, and they'll all admit it, they are very reactive. Ooh, if you push them the wrong way, they're going to shove back. Whereas a water moon or an earth moon will think, wait, how do I want to respond to this? What's a Aries moon? No, they see red, quite literally. Fun
I
fact, fire signs, especially Aries, you can always tell when someone is a fire sign because their face gets red a lot, whether they're blushing or even excited or
mm,
mad, especially, or they have red hair. I
interesting.
swear to you, 9 out of 10 times someone has red hair, there's fire in their big three.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So what is this full moon? It's on
Yeah.
Sunday. When is it?
Yeah, it's on the 9th, which I believe is Sunday, right? Today's the 6th, 7th. Yep, Sunday. So
So
this
this will
full
air
moon,
probably tomorrow
yeah,
or
awesome.
right after we record.
Yes.
So what is this full moon showing us? What is it?
Yeah.
What planets are highlighted right now? I know we're still kind of in a retrograde period with a lot of
Oh, yeah.
planets.
There's a lot going on. So there's a lot of like paradox placements going on right now. So for those listening, if you've really felt like the stars are saying, go after it. Mercury is now direct. Pluto just moved direct today. Saturn is going to go direct. These are all big, heavy hitters saying, all right, let's take on these dreams. Let's make big boy and big girl decisions and be an adult and fulfill our soul's promise. But then there's also planets like Mars about to move into retrograde. And Mars is the planet ruled by Aries, funny enough, of action, drive, energy, motivation.
Mm,
So it's like we get all this energy from this Aries full moon, like, fuck yeah, let's go after our dreams. I am unstoppable. And then Mars says, but you're going to have to go slow. which I always use the story of the tortoise and the hare. Who wins the race? You think it's the bunny because the hare is ruled by Aries. They've got that fiery energy. As soon as the gun goes off, they book it and run. And you think, wow, they're fast and athletic. But the tortoise actually wins because they monitor their breath work. They monitor their
Mm.
heart rate and they keep it slow and steady. And Aries burns out, Taurus, the turtle, wins. So, with this full moon in Aries, it's going to feel on its high side exciting. You're going to have all these new ideas. You're going to feel powerful. A lot of people that came unscathed out of this Mercury retrograde are finally ready to make a big decision of, okay, my relationship has not been doing well, and I need to go to therapy with them and really put in a lot of work to repair. Or they're thinking, I'm ready to end this marriage. I'm ready to end this partnership, this friendship
Mm.
too. This isn't just romantic. I'm ready to finally close the door and bury these because it's me. I'm choosing me. A lot of Aries get mistakenly called assholes or selfish because these people have no problem choosing themselves. If their parents, which is really rare, people with Aries and their big three typically don't want to have children. It's just an intuitive feeling. And it's because they know I want to do what I want, when I want, where I want. I don't want to answer
Mm.
to anybody else, especially little beings. Fuck that, says Aries. So with this full moon, we're all getting this confidence and this like militant style. You know what? This partnership is done. Hey, love you, but boom, here's a hard boundary. If you cross it, I will suck you in the mouth, says Aries. Have
No
you felt
bullshit.
that?
Aries is
Have you?
no
Yeah.
bullshit.
None. And your
You
North Node is in
cannot.
Aries, right?
What'd you say?
Your North Node is in Aries.
Yes. Yeah.
How have you seen that manifest?
Well, with a Libra South node,
Yeah.
man, the last couple of years have been a test of how badly do you want to fulfill your purpose, Michelle, right? Because
Yeah.
North Node, for those of you who don't know, North Node is our purpose.
Yeah.
It's like what we're striving for. It's our North Star. And our
Yeah.
South Node is our past lives, our karma, what we've already gone through, the lessons we've gone through, but it's our comfort. And we kind of revert back to it at times. So Libra, like I've had past Libra relationships, and Libra energy, right? The shadow of Libra is codependency and relying on others, or giving so much of ourselves, right? That self sabotage. So, yeah, I mean, I've started to be labeled as selfish, and now I say
Good thing.
selfish is not a bad thing. How
It's
can
a
we
very
fill
good
up
thing.
anyone else's cup if we're not putting ourselves first? But yeah, it's an edge, right? It's an edge for me because that's what I'm striving for. It's this
Mhm.
I am presence. It's, I don't want to say lone wolfing it, but kind of like being this leader, pushing myself into that space of like, I get to go first. I get to do
Yes.
these things. And you're either coming with me or I'm leaving you behind.
Yes. Yes. So poetic, so beautifully explained. And weren't you engaged before?
I was.
Right. And so that was you like fulfilling that Libra South node. I came to this life with all I know is partnership. So I bet either consciously or subconsciously, as soon as you were of age, you're like, let's date to mate for life. Let's find my forever. When really you were supposed to learn to be an individual first and maybe start dating around your late 20s, 30s, and think about marriage maybe in your mid to late 30s. Right.
Yeah. Well, you want to hear something wild? I haven't really
Yeah.
shared this publicly. The day I was proposed to,
Mhm.
so so it was 11/11,
Oh, stop it.
2018.
Did he plan? Oh gosh.
11/11, 29, 20, I'm like, what year? 2019. 11/11, 2019. That morning, it was 10 days after my first Reiki session. So I was in this like the biggest awakening of my life.
Yeah.
And that morning I was meditating and this thought came into my head of the power within you. And I was like, huh, what is this? And then all of a sudden I heard make an Instagram. So I made a private and public Instagram, but I didn't share it with anyone. And it turned out to be you, the power within. So those of you listening who were around before Michelle the Mystic, you knew you, the power within. And that began my business Instagram, but I didn't know it at the time. So the same day I created my Instagram, you guys should see Stephanie's face right now. That morning, was my Aries North Node. That evening, my ex proposed to me.
Bumps from head to toe. Look, my face is getting red. My Sagittarius fire's pouring out of me. Incredible.
I think like I don't know, a couple months later, I realized that when I really dove into astrology, I was like, wow, I am literally living out my chart.
Yeah. Oh, we always are. My surgery I just had was on the Libra new moon, and Libra rules my sixth house of health. I had no idea.
Mm,
I as an astrologer, I have the ability to really plan my life around the stars, but I don't want to. I want to really just let life unfold and trust my gut.
mm,
And as soon as my doctor gave me that date, like, how does September 26th sound? It just felt like that intuitive, soft feather ping in my gut was like, perfect. I like how that sounds. And then I eventually, when the date drew near, I was like, I wonder what's going on in the sky that day. Oh my gosh, I have a new moon in my house of health and a stellium in Libra, which is to bring balance to the body, which is
mm.
exactly what my surgery did. It's beautiful. So when you're
Isn't
just
it?
in tune with your soul, the stars are just a piece of what you can use, not everything.
Yeah, and you have your book, right? Your moon, it's just a
Yeah,
phase
my
book,
moon
right? It's
journal.
like
Yeah.
people, I mean, I have clients just intuitively follow the moon without even knowing that they're following the
Yeah.
moon, right? It's just, we are all connected. We're all connected to the planets and everything is so cyclic. And it really is amazing when we
Yeah.
tap into that intuition and that knowing and yeah, find those synchronicities. And you're like, oh, of course, this is happening.
Of course it is. So, with this Aries full moon, let's just put it in elementary layman's terms. The high side of this is you are going to feel jacked up, powerful, ready to command your place in the world and be who you are and get rid of anybody at your table that's taking up a seat where someone who's
Mm,
more motivating and inspiring to you and people who could actually help you be better. They could be sitting there. So now you're going to have that fire to say, you know what? It's time to choose me on the low side of this Aries full moon, and listen up, my friends, especially as ladies with hormones, we are ready to fight. I remember when I was writing It's Just a Phase. Yeah, exactly. When I was writing It's Just a Phase, I shared my private journal in that book. I was so afraid to copy and
mm,
paste that, but I was just like, this is what I'm called to do is totally peel back the curtain for people. And JL and I, my partner, we would fight like cats and dogs whenever the moon was in Aries. Just a trigger city. And so now I took that information and said, okay, next month when the moon is in Aries, and this was a while ago, we've since learned to harness it. Don't get in a fight. Go see girlfriends. Go exercise. I always tell my Aries people, move your
yes.
body, make that face red, sweat all over the place because that is energy when you are pissed, go for a run, right? And through couples therapy, JL and I have learned just check in with your nervous system, your partner, your
Mm,
friends. They're always going to trigger you. It's just life. But if your palms get sweaty, your face gets red, your mouth gets dry, hands start to shake, things like that, you just got to have the self discipline to say, okay, I want to continue this conversation. It's important to me, but I gotta go. I gotta go walk and get the mail. I gotta go run on a treadmill, scream in a pillow, blast music, whatever it may be. So that is going to be the low side of this Aries full moon is it is going to illuminate everything that pisses you off. And it could be a
mm,
very reactive moon. So you have a choice, people. Are you going to use this Aries full moon to be the leader of your life and also to help the underdog, perhaps? Aries on their high side walks side by side with people, not in front. Aries on their low side stands in front, points their finger. Oh, you think I did that? Well, remember when you did that? And then they just get louder and louder. And oh, so for my friends with tempers, spend this full moon moving your body, getting that energy out. Oh, does that resonate?
oh yeah. Whenever the moon's in a fire sign, I'm like, oh, I got to do some exertion. I'm more of a
Yes.
yoga. Sometimes I like to run. It
Hot
depends on my
yoga.
mood.
Sweat it out.
Oh, hot yoga girl. Oh, I was bawling in pigeon pose this past week in hot yoga. I
Isn't it
just shared.
crazy how pigeon pose opens your heart? You don't see it coming. It's just all of a sudden, once you relax into the stretch, it's waterworks. That always happens to me with my left leg.
Because our hips are our junk drawers of our body, especially as women. That's where we hold stored emotion and what we were talking about before, not even just from us, from every woman before us. And grief is held there, right? And yeah, I was like, well, I'm in hot yoga. No one could see me balling anyway. So
I look like a
everyone's
sweat.
like,
Is that the key to your glowing skin? Every time I see your Instagram reels, I'm like, what filter is she using?
I don't
What
use
the heck?
filters.
I
I
know. That's why I'm jealous.
Oh, people have said that. Thank you, my love. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I mean, healing. I have to say healing, like really working on my energetic, what we were talking about before, energetic diet and what I put into my body, who I spend time with. I mean, yeah, but I have made a point to really not use filters on Instagram because when people meet me, I want to look like I look, right?
Pristine. Exactly.
Like there's so much, especially with the children of this day and age, right? It's like they are just so filtered. And
Yeah.
yeah, look at my wrinkle. And you share this too. It's like, look at our wrinkles. Like we're real
Yeah.
women.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really use
Yeah.
filters. So
Me
thank you.
neither. I like them. They're fun. But then as soon as I start recording with one, I'm like, oh, come on. Like, you think this is fun and cute. But to the average person who's just flipping through, they're going to think, God, her skin's so nice. Her eyes are so blue. And you're right. And when people meet me, the only thing that shocks them is how short I am.
How short are you?
5'2".
What? No way.
I am petite. And most of my photos I take by myself because I'm usually out alone. So I put my phone on the ground just against a rock or something, which I didn't realize looking up at someone makes them look tall. So when people meet me, they're like, wait a second, where did you go?
Oh, also, my loves who are listening, next full moon shit talk, Stephanie and I will be in person.
Yes, I
We're gonna
know.
have to like video that. It's
Yeah.
gonna be that one's gonna be on YouTube because that's gonna
Yeah.
be amazing.
So cool. I love
Oh,
it.
I'm excited. Yeah,
Yeah.
what am I? 5'4"? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Oh, so
interesting.
you're a good height. I'm just so tiny. I
Oh, I
wear
love
all the
it.
heels with shoes, bite size, fun size. You know, this full moon is conjunct your north node. I'm looking at your chart and your north node is 18 degrees Aries. This full moon is 16 degrees Aries. So, wow, girlfriend, this is lighting up that spiritual purpose for you. Pay really close attention to like starting now, 3 days leading up to, and 3 days leading out of this full moon. What comes up? Who's in your life? Who makes you feel really good? These are the
Mm,
people that could be illuminating that spiritual purpose of yours.
yeah, it's been a little dim lately. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I've been in a ebb
Yeah.
in my business, in my yeah, just moving through the human
Yeah.
experiences, right? And
You know what I
leaning more.
freaking love
Go ahead.
about what something you posted? I was scrolling, mindlessly, and then you popped up and it was you with a sage stick saying, I'm cleaning your feed. And I was like, I was laughing because I just freaking love you. And I loved the sage and I could smell it. I swear I could smell it. And I was like, but wait a second, this is a really genius idea because all the shit I just scrolled through was so not what I want in my brain at 8 o'clock at night. Do you
That's
remember
so
that?
That's so funny. You know what? It was a story at first, but I don't get a lot
Oh,
of views on my stories for
it's
the
the
amount of
algorithm.
yeah, it's such fucking bullshit. And I was like, you know what? More people get to see this. Let me post this to my feed because
Yeah.
yeah, we got to cleanse our shit. Guys, go cleanse
Yes.
your Facebook, your Instagram,
Yes.
remove
Yeah.
followers. This is Aries energy. Like
Yes,
remove
it is.
people that don't
Mhm.
make you feel good. You don't have to
Yes.
follow
No.
anyone, including friends and family. Like, you
Yeah.
don't have to do it.
No. Did you know you can like someone as a person, but unfollow them? It's a
And it
thing.
means nothing.
Yes. You know what I did yesterday? I unfollowed everybody on Lightworkers Lounge. It's full blown zero. And while I was doing, I'm like, oh, I love this person. Oh, wait, no. But I just craved that reset because I'm not going to stay at zero. I just wanted a clean slate to really have this Aries energy of, okay, my table is precious. It is so precious. And I've only got 5 seats at it. So I want to be so selective with who has a seat at my table, who
Mm,
is influencing me, who is bringing energy in. And I felt bad. I was like, oh my gosh, if this person sees I unfollow them, are they going to think I don't like them? Is there going to be conflict? But I was like, if they get upset over an unfollow, I don't know if I want them at my table anyway. And the real people who know me will know, oh, there goes Steph doing something weird again. Well, I'll call her later. Like,
Or you go to their page and you're like, oh, they're not following anyone anymore.
yeah,
I did that
yeah,
a year ago, I think, and then slowly started bringing people in. But yeah, this full moon, it's a perfect time
yes,
to release and let go and
yeah,
clean your slate, right? Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So,
exactly.
oh yeah.
Yeah. And really think of what happened between the Aries new moon, which was in April, and now. Really look at your journals, old Instagram captions, whatever that may be, to see look how far you've come. Look how much you've grown.
Mm,
Aries is the leader, and you used, if people are listening to this feeling like, yeah, I'm definitely out of control of my life, that wasn't always the case. Think back to a time, even if it was in elementary school, when you were so in your power. What were you doing? Who did you hang out with? Tap back into that.
yeah. Yeah, it's powerful. I actually signed a contract to be a author in a multi-author book around the new moon in Aries. And we
Wow.
just got the release date. It's gonna be November 18th this past week. I was like, oh my gosh, this 6 months.
What? What's it called? Are you allowed to
Heart,
share yet?
yeah, it's called Heart Centered Leaders.
Oh,
Yeah. So
wow.
I talk all about following the breadcrumbs. I didn't set out to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to just be a
No.
speech therapist. I was like, what?
No.
No way. I'm not
Yeah.
doing any of that stuff. I'm not
Yeah.
a podcast. Uh-huh. No way.
What is this? Yeah, same. Oh my gosh. And people, it's so easy for people to, and this is a big Aries thing. Aries on their low side. They're so hyperactive and they're so competitive. I always call Aries the quarterback of the zodiac. And boy, they're going to
Mm,
remain the quarterback. Nobody else is going to take it. Got to be the best, got to be first place. But with that, where was I going with that? I had such a good point, and then my mind just grew legs and walked away.
my mind grew legs. I'm going to use that one.
Aries is number one. They are the first. But with this, you have to just remember to fall back into being in partnership with people and working together hand in hand. Now, I had a really good point and I completely forgot it,
Oh, you
but
were
it comes back
saying
to me.
we were talking about how we both didn't set out to be entrepreneurs.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Look at both of our brains are like mashed potatoes today. And I got to teach after this.
You'll be good. Send you a
Sage
jolt,
me.
jolt of
Sage
energy.
me. Yes. Okay. So what I was
Here we
saying is
go.
a lot of Aries people, when we were talking, yes, talking on social media about this, they look at someone who's successful. Maybe I'll just use athletics. They look at someone, I swear I can always
Mm,
smell your sage, and they say, I want to be that. I'm going to start training and I'm going to be that person. But what you don't realize when you see people with a lot of followers or a lot of accomplishments, that's decades in the making.
yes.
People don't realize this, but before Lightworkers Lounge, which is now 4 years old, I had a blog called Free Spirit Fun, where I talked about the same type of stuff since I was 24 years old. And now at 34, so 10 years later, I'm finally seeing the fruits of this. But for the first 5, 6 years, nobody knew who I was. I probably had 20 blog subscribers, 800 Instagram followers, which is a lot, but for what I have now, it's like, whoa. But I loved it. I absolutely loved curating those blog posts. You guys can go see it,
I got to check it
freespiritfun.blogspot.com.
out.
Yes, that is the baby 20-year-old Steph who thought she knew everything about life. It's actually really good stuff. I'll
I'm
give my
sure it
old self
is. You're
credit.
such
It's
a storyteller. You're such a
tricky.
writer. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if you guys are just tuning into this episode, go back to when I interviewed Steph.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
talks about that, how you started out, because yeah, people always, see my Instagram and they're like, you've always been this confident. You've always talked
No.
like this. I'm like, are you
No.
kidding? I couldn't talk in front of three
No.
people. My whole body, literally, viscerally,
Oh,
like my whole body would completely shut
yeah.
down if I had to share my voice with anyone. Talk
Yeah.
about persecution wounds.
Your Chiron is in Gemini. Like literally the whole big wound of your birth chart is speaking. So of course, see, Michelle here is using the high side of her Chiron. People get so afraid of that placement and think, oh, that's my weakness. No, the wound is where the light comes in. Let the light come into
Mm,
that crack, and you are the epitome of what we are supposed to do. Your Chiron is in Gemini. You are supposed to be so afraid of speaking and pronunciation and learning disabilities. These are all things of Chiron and Gemini. So you take that and say, this is a weakness of mine, but I'm going to use that as my superpower. And what better way to heal that wound than teach other people with the same type of wound? Ba-dum.
speech therapist, podcaster, spiritual teacher.
Yes,
Also,
travel
I'm wearing
author.
a lot of blue today. I just
Are
realized.
you?
Throat chakra,
Oh,
sweater,
throat
socks, and
chakra.
my underwear.
I'm wearing green.
You're wearing
Everything's
heart
green.
energy. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, wait, heart and throat. Oh my gosh, so
Yeah,
connected.
I know. Isn't that cool?
I love
We're
that.
so connected. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. So, one last piece of advice for listeners for this
Yeah.
full moon in Aries.
Step into your power. Don't be afraid to say no. Aries secretly loves pissing people off. They love conflict. Aries and Libra are sister signs, and sister signs are like yin and yang. There's times where they get along, BFFs, and then there's times where they fight like cats and dogs. So sister signs are opposite of each other. Aries is I fucking love conflict because that means I'm living my truth. If I'm rubbing people the wrong way, that means I'm doing life right and living for me.
Mm,
Libra, oh God, all the Libras listening to this are shaking in their boots saying, what? I have to get people mad at me? I have to have people think that I'm an asshole? No, everyone needs to think I'm perfect and sweet and kind. Aries says, I love when people talk shit about me because that means I'm number one. Oh, they love it. They can't get enough of it. So with this full moon, try and step into everyone's got Aries energy in them. Step into yours and say, I'm ready to piss some people off and choose me. And this is
mm,
so exaggerated. I'm a Sag. I exaggerate things. I'm a good storyteller. All you have to do with this Aries full moon is just choose yourself and be selfish with your time.
And look to see
That's
what
it.
house it rules in your chart. It's sixth
The
house for
12th
me, health
house.
and routine and yeah,
Ooh.
starting over. Oh yeah, I feel that energy hardcore.
So you definitely need to sweat and hot yoga and move that body. I bet if you go a time period without working out, you feel it emotionally. Yeah.
Oh, I can't. I literally can't. It's stagnant. It's
Yeah.
like we got to
Have you
move
ever
this.
had skin issues like eczema, rosacea, acne, anything like that?
I had acne as a teen. hmm
Yeah,
Because,
that's Aries.
yeah, so much. I didn't know what to do, energetically, you don't know as a teenager what's happening.
Yeah.
And in my 20s, emotional eating, like my weight was just constantly,
No.
because I didn't know how to ground. I didn't know how to
Yeah.
utilize that energy, move that energy. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's wild. So yeah, Steph, I know, I mean, some people might be listening to this for the first time. So where can people find you and how can they work with you?
Lightworkerslounge.com, Instagram at Lightworkerslounge. I'm not going to follow you back because I'm sticking to 0 right now. But
Hashtag full moon
and
in
then you could
Aries.
just Google Lightworkers Lounge. We are everywhere. And welcome to the podcast. We talk about astrology, tales of having a human experience in the spiritual world. We talk about everything. I also shared my surgery for anyone struggling with
Mm,
fertility or hormonal issues. It's a really good episode about stuff like that. So
that's
check it out. And thank
amazing.
you so much. Your energy is just so, I just want to cuddle you with a cup of tea and a warm velour blanket.
Says the Taurus rising.
Yes. You're like my mama bear. I'm like, yes, she's earthy
Oh,
and grounded. And she's a Scorpio rising, so I can tell her all about my abortion and miscarriage.
oh, you could tell, girl. Listen, we're gonna do what you just shared. We're gonna have our cup of
Yeah.
tea, our velour. I have my gravity blanket, so I'll bring that when we come hang out in
It's the only thing I
November.
kept looking at the whole time was that gravity blanket behind you.
Girl, it is so calming. It's so good.
I
So
haven't been able to take a bath in 2 weeks from my surgery. I just had my post-op appointment today, and she's like, "Do you have any questions?" And I was like, "Yes. Can I please take an Epsom salt bath?" And
that's
she's
the
like, "Oh
water
yeah,
moon.
you're fine." Dying.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine. So you go take care of yourself. And
Yeah.
my loves, if you're listening, yeah, next month, full moon in Taurus, we're gonna be in person
Eclipse.
and eclipse.
Big
Oh,
one.
holy
It's a
shit.
big one. Yeah. So
Woo!
tune
I can't wait. I'm so excited. All right, my
Yeah.
love. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your knowledge and your wisdom and your energy. And everyone, happy full moon. Take care.
Happy full moon.